Hi home fanatics, I'm Aladon and today I'm bringing you a kit basing video from a full 3D printed model. The basing file comes from October Bestiarum Patreon pack. Now you can get it in his My Manufacturing profile too. Its name is Aladon, a big motherfucking monster. You can get a great deal taking the Patreon for only 10 euros a month, or as I said, if you want an old model, you can go to his My Manufacturing profile to get the old files. You have all the links in the video description. For this model I didn't like the original wings, so I took the ones from the Corsair Lord model. Before printing them, I used the Cheeto box just to see how they look as they are in size. You can use these programs to see how it's going to look the final model when you put it together. These wings are, for my opinion, a little small, so I'm going to resize them to a bigger ones. This is a great feature. You can use the steel models. You can resize them and print in the times you want. This time I would love these wings, but bigger to make sense with the body of the dragon. Many companies already give you the pre-supported file, so we only have to resize them and prepare it to print it. Sometimes if you make too small or too big the model, the pre-supported files may don't work, so check it before printing it. 3D printing a model is very easy. Follow me if you want to see more models printed or even full armies printed by your machine. I printed 2 copies of the model, one in translucent for a future project and this one in grey resin. And here you have the resized wings. One of them was broken during the cleaning, but don't worry, we will fix it later. First, we are going to put together the big parts, the body, head and the tail. We're going to need green stuff. This way the pieces will fit together perfectly. I strongly recommend to use water when you mix in the green stuff, because if you don't use water, it will stick in your fingers. I used to put a thin amount of green stuff around all the space where you are going to put the other piece. This way you ensure that the other piece will fit perfectly with the model. I find this method of putting together 2 big parts of a model very useful, because sometimes when you just glue the parts, it leaves a little gap between the parts. This way the green stuff is going to fill these gaps that may appear only gluing the model. When you put a small amount of glue in the other part of the model, it's very important that the green stuff has any amount of water on it. You have to press both parts to make a perfect fit. Some of the green stuff will appear above the model. You just have to use a sculpting tool and make a uniform union for both parts. You don't have to use these exactly sculpting tools, use the ones you have on hand. Doing this doesn't need any sculpting skill, you just have to level both parts so any gap is seen in the model. We do the same with the tail. But here, because it's a very small line on the top, you can still see the gap between the 2 parts. So we are going to use liquid putty or liquid green stuff to fill that small gap. If you don't clean properly your print, it may appear some peaks on the model. I'm going to use this liquid putty to fill them too, using a brush and a little amount of water. If you put too much putty, You just have to use a towel to remove the excess. This way the putty will remain in the holes or the gaps. You can use a sponge too. I did it the same in the neck, because putting liquid putty will soften even more the gap between the two parts, and will fill any gap that we have from the supports of the model. Leave the model some hours and let the green stuff and the liquid mask dry. After that, we are going to glue the arms. For this, we are going to use super glue in her formula and baking soda. Yes, baking soda. After applying the glue to the piece and put it in the place, we will spread a little of baking soda, and this will make a very strong union. Using super glue in her formula will fill the small gaps, and using the baking soda will make the super glue dry instantly. To fill any remaining gap, I use some of the liquid mask that I mixed before. Because I wanted to change a little bit the R and disarm position, I removed the union from both parts, so I can put it in the place I want. Because of their position, you will have to use green stuff too. We do the same with the leg and the two small arms. Be careful with those little fingers. The model comes already with a base, but in case of big bases, I always prefer to make my own. This one is made of cork and has the reglamentary size to play the fantasy battles. You can check this tutorial to make bases like this one. We are going to pin the model with two thick metal sticks. This will make an extra strong and stable connection to the base. Be careful when you're positioning the model in the base. Those hands are very tiny and may break. I will be adding an extra cork piece to make the dragon's leg landing in the base. The best way to glue together two pieces of cork is a hot glue gun. To make the union more natural, I will be gluing some sand. Don't forget to clean your working space time to time. Now I will be adding the wings. It will be crazy. You will think that you are trying to thrash this model, but we have to make big changes to make the new wings fit the dragon. Use any tool that you feel comfortable using it. I will be using pliers, a hobbing saw and the Dremel, of course. It is a tedious work, but it's better to cut small pieces instead of big pieces, because if you try to break a big piece, you can mess all the model. To ensure very strong the wings to the model, we are going to pinning them. If you want to know more about this method of putting together a miniature, please check this tutorial. For the rider, I used the hero from the Chaos Mortals collecting, plus some extra pieces from other kits. Now we are going to apply the first step of green stuff. We're going to use a lot of green stuff, so keep it in hand. This first part of green stuff is just to attach the wings to the model. After this first layer, we will put the second layer of green stuff that will have the detail with the wings. So at this moment you only have to fill the gap. Meanwhile the green stuff was drying, I added some extra details to the base, some skulls under the dragon, and positioned the rider too, so I can see where is going to be the legs from the rider. Now we are going to put the second layer of green stuff to the model. Pick small amounts of green stuff each time. and try to mark the muscles that should be in the wings. If you don't know nothing about anatomy or muscles in the human body, don't worry too much. I don't neither. It's a fantasy creature, so don't have to be 100% natural or physical acquired. Use water when you are sculpting the second layer, never Vaseline or sculpting Vaseline, because the Vaseline may prevent the second layer of green stuff to stick to the first one. I didn't want to do anything complicated to sit the rider on the dragon, so I just sculpted for him a big beast skin where he was going to sit on. This way I cover the top of the dragon and avoid sculpting his legs. At the end, I did a chain rein and repaired the broken wing. I didn't include it in this tutorial because it will make this video too long. But if you want to see the tricks to make these things, just leave a comment in this video. What a super epic piece included in my Chaos army, with just printing a kit bashing. And this one is only the first monster I want to include in my army. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell and leave a like on this video. And of course, share it with your Chaos friends. Hope to see you in the next video, hobby fanatics!